You know what's crazy? I never saw Biggie smile until after he died. But then he made him jiggy and put him in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all that publishing and them.
Before his tragic passing, DMX revealed how Diddy allegedly plotted against Biggie from the very start. And according to DMX, he also allegedly forced him to be gay.
But then he made him jiggy and put him in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all that publishing and them.
But what was Diddy's true endgame? Was it just about control or something even more sinister? Was Biggie Smalls, one of the greatest rappers of all time, manipulated, betrayed, and used as a pawn in a disturbing plan?
He was really enjoying his life, and he got taken away from him.
DMX wasn't just a friend to Biggie. He was a man with knowledge of Diddy's darkest secrets. Stay with us as we reveal what DMX warned Biggie about before his untimely death and the disturbing plan Diddy may have had in store. Was one of hip-hop's greatest betrayals happening right in front of our eyes? DMX thought so. In his final years, DMX openly discussed a chilling warning he gave to Biggie about Diddy's plans. A plan that may have led not just to the destruction of Biggie's career, but his very life. Could Diddy's empire have been built on more than just talent? Perhaps manipulation, control, and exploitation. But what really happened behind closed doors? Some say Diddy pushed Biggie into uncomfortable situations. So, did Diddy really have plans to manipulate Biggie's image and turn him towards something darker? Let's dive in. In 2013, DMX sat down for one of the most revealing interviews of his career. During that interview, DMX dropped a bombshell claiming that Diddy had a disturbing plan to control Biggie Smalls. According to DMX, this wasn't just about money or fame. Diddy allegedly wanted to turn Biggie gay and exploit him before his tragic death. The question is, why? DMX's claim sent shockwaves through the industry. But why would Diddy, the man who helped launch Biggie's career, plot against him? Some believe it was a power play. Others think it was far more personal, perhaps even a deep-seated need to control Biggie's very identity.
But there's so much that Biggie said that people just overlooked at the time. And now, when we fast forward to where we're at and we hear about all the with Puff.
I'm just going by proximity. If you around 5, I'm thinking you might be the
who else is gay? I guess maybe Puffy?
Diddy, you feel me? I'm like, yo.
Biggie's music, often hailed as revolutionary, contained lyrics that left fans questioning the influence of those around him. Could Diddy have been pulling the strings behind Biggie's words, pushing him in directions that felt unnatural to the legendary rapper? Did DMX see it coming before anyone else? Let's go back to 2013 when DMX first opened up about his friendship with Biggie. DMX opened up in an interview about his deep connection with Biggie, sharing personal reflections on their time together and his concerns about Diddy's growing control over Biggie's life. It was more than just a passing acquaintance for DMX. He saw Biggie as a brother in the industry, someone who needed protection in a cutthroat environment where trust was hard to come by. DMX's recollection of Biggie during that time reveals layers of vulnerability and turmoil in Biggie's final years, especially as Diddy's influence began to seep deeper into Biggie's life and career. During the interview, DMX shared a powerful moment of reflection. He had never seen Biggie truly smile until after he passed away.
I never saw Biggie smile until after he died. And the Hypnotize video came out. Hypnotize. I was like, oh, like.
It was an eerie realization that hit him hard, as he explained that a real smile illuminates more than just the face. It brings light to the soul. In this moment, DMX was reminded of the weight of Biggie's struggles, as though the smile that appeared on Biggie's face after his death was symbolic of a peace he hadn't known in life. DMX expressed how a smile isn't just something that shows on the mouth. It shines through the eyes, radiating joy and authenticity. For DMX, Biggie's life had become a dark journey, manipulated by external forces like Diddy, that kept him from finding that inner peace. This profound realization made DMX even more protective of his friend, prompting him to confront the toxic environment Biggie was trapped in, with Diddy at the center of it. DMX shared that he met Biggie only once, but it was clear to him that Biggie had been struggling under Diddy's thumb for quite some time. DMX detailed how, after the Locks, a rap group DMX was close to, got signed to Diddy's label, their careers took a bizarre turn. Initially, they were thrilled about the opportunity. However, Diddy's influence quickly shifted their image. They went from gritty rappers to jiggy artists dressed in suits, writing lyrics that weren't their own.
The Locks got signed before I did, even though I bought the Locks to our riders. You know, they got signed. They were a safer group. You know, Puff signed them. And it was a blessing and a curse because they were sure they were happy about getting signed first, and they were on the Benjamins and shit was going. But then he made them jiggy and put them in suits.
Diddy wasn't just shaping their music. He was taking their creative control and, even worse, stealing their publishing rights. The Locks found themselves trapped in a financial and artistic chokehold, a situation that DMX believed Biggie was falling victim to as well. This insight gave DMX a unique perspective on the industry, one that wasn't driven solely by artistic expression or success, but by control and exploitation. DMX's words about Diddy's grip on Biggie are heavy with implication. According to him, Diddy didn't just want to own Biggie's career, he allegedly wanted to control Biggie on a more personal level, attempting to push him into uncomfortable and compromising situations. DMX didn't mince words when he alluded to Diddy's plan to manipulate Biggie's suggesting that Diddy wanted to turn him gay.
But then he made them jiggy and put them in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all their publishing and them.
This claim isn't just shocking because of its content, but because it highlights the extent of Diddy's power over Biggie's life. Throughout their time together, DMX noticed that Biggie was increasingly troubled. He became unsure of who he could trust, growing more and more isolated despite his rising fame. Biggie confided in DMX about the pressure he was under, expressing unease with the direction his life and career were taking under Diddy's influence. DMX tried to warn Biggie about the dangers of Diddy's manipulation, but by the time he was able to fully voice his concerns, it was too late. Biggie was already too deep, and his tragic death soon followed. DMX's concern for Biggie wasn't just about the music industry. It was about personal integrity and survival. Diddy, who was supposed to be a mentor and ally, had become something more sinister. He believed that Diddy's control over Biggie was even more profound, encompassing not only his career but also his personal life.
He was really enjoying his life, and they got taken away from him.
Biggie's lyrics and the people around him, like Diddy, further fueled speculation about his Lord Jamar even pointed out the sometimes explicit and suggestive nature of Biggie's lyrics, leading some to question whether Biggie was being influenced by Diddy in ways that went beyond music. In the interview, DMX didn't shy away from these difficult topics. He was direct in his assertion that Diddy's manipulation extended into every aspect of Biggie's life, including his For DMX, this was the ultimate betrayal, using someone's vulnerabilities against them for personal gain. While DMX was able to avoid falling into Diddy's trap, Biggie wasn't so lucky. He became a pawn in a much larger game, one that cost him his life. By the time DMX tried to warn Biggie, the damage had already been done. The manipulation had set in, and Biggie's path was already sealed. Diddy's control over Biggie's life, career, and even his identity was a contributing factor to the tragic end that would soon come. DMX's reflections on Biggie's life are filled with sadness, not just because of the loss of a friend, but because of the lost potential that came with Biggie's tragic death. To understand the depth of Diddy's influence, we have to look at how he controlled every aspect of Biggie's career. From the music to the image, Diddy was always there, steering the ship. But was this control really for Biggie's benefit, or was it for Diddy's?
But there's so much that Biggie said that people just overlooked at the time. And now, when we fast forward to where we're at and we hear about all the shit with Puff,
Biggie's lyrics began to reflect themes that were shocking for the time, lyrics that hinted at a darker influence. Was Biggie expressing himself, or was he being pushed to toe the line that Diddy wanted? Some say Diddy was crafting Biggie's image not as a hip-hop icon, but as something more manipulative.
I'm just going by proximity. If you around 5, I'm thinking you might be the
Who else is gay? I guess maybe Puffy?
Diddy, you feel me? I'm like, yo.
Biggie's fans were left confused. Why was a man known for his grit and street smarts suddenly embracing these controversial themes? According to DMX, it was all part of Diddy's plan to control Biggie, not just as an artist, but as a person. But DMX's most chilling revelation wasn't just about control. DMX claimed that Diddy had something far more sinister in mind. Now, one of the most disturbing elements of this story is the rumored existence of gay tapes involving Biggie, allegedly used by Diddy to control and blackmail him. The tapes supposedly captured compromising footage of Biggie, and the rumor is that Diddy used this material to keep him in check. Biggie's mom has hinted that Diddy manipulated her son in more ways than one, using these tapes as leverage to stop him from leaving Bad Boy Records. This aspect of Biggie's life has always been shrouded in mystery, but as more people come forward, the truth behind these rumors is becoming harder to ignore. Was Diddy's hold over Biggie more than just business? Perhaps the most telling sign of Diddy's fear of losing control over Biggie was the fact that Biggie was reportedly trying to leave Bad Boy Records shortly before his death. Multiple sources claim that Biggie had grown frustrated with Diddy's leadership and was seeking a way out. In an interview, Gene said that Biggie and Diddy weren't as close as Diddy portrays, and that Biggie was aware that Diddy was robbing him.
Puff had robbed Big, and Big was robbing Puff.
Gene also revealed that Biggie was planning on getting his publishing rights back from Diddy. He claimed that the late rapper had made moves to leave Bad Boy for a lucrative deal worth more than $60 million. Deal said he saw Biggie's Bad Boy contract when he had to watch over Diddy's briefcase during a flight. It outlined Big's earnings in increments of $250,000, but left publishing income in Puff's possession. When he asked Biggie about it, the rapper allegedly told him about his new deal and all the money he'd make. He showed me. It had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Lil Cease, Lil Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy Lee, and the commission. He explained, I think the contract was for so many years for like $62 million. It comes out to $62 million. Biggie's departure would have been catastrophic for Diddy. Not only would he lose his biggest artist, but the fight over music royalties would have intensified. Was this the real reason Diddy wanted Biggie in LA? To ensure he never had the chance to leave. The night Biggie was unalived, he was leaving a party in LA. It was supposed to be a celebratory evening, but according to multiple witnesses, something felt off. Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Diddy, has long claimed that Biggie's death wasn't a random drive-by shooting.
Wasn't no drive-by. Car was standing there at the corner. We talk about this all the time, bruh. The stories they tell, it's not truthful.
Gene and others suggest that Biggie's death was planned and orchestrated. The shooters knew exactly where to be and when to strike. Could Diddy have been involved in the setup? In a separate interview, Gene revealed that Diddy lied to Biggie's mother about not knowing him because he knew that Gene would expose him and reveal what happened on the night of Biggie's death.
He didn't tell Miss Wallace because he knew I wasn't going to lie to Big's mama. He knew I was going to tell Miss Wallace everything that happened.
Gene Deal revealed that Miss Wallace had made inquiries about him with Diddy, but Diddy quickly denied knowing him. Apparently, the hip-hop mogul was afraid that Gene would tell Biggie's mother everything that happened on the night Biggie was unalived. What's more, Gene also revealed that on that fateful night, Biggie's car had been marked with a plethora of stickers. Now, you might think it's a trivial tidbit, but it's a smoking gun. Apparently, these cars were rented, and guess what? It's strictly against policy to slap stickers all over them. But it gets even weirder. Gene Deal dropped another bombshell, alleging that only one group could have possibly tampered with those rides, the street team hired by Bad Boy Records themselves. He insisted that they were the only ones with the golden opportunity and access to plant those incriminating stickers. And guess what? Diddy's car was completely sticker-free, adding a splash of suspicion to the mix.
Because somebody wanted to know, yo, if y'all gonna get big, to go to the car with the stickers on it.
While the investigation into Biggie's tragic case unfolded, the head honcho of security let slip a tantalizing hint. He vaguely alluded to some mysterious tasks entrusted to the street team, but he conveniently kept the details under wraps. Now, with this fresh batch of information revealing an inside connection between the culprit and the victim, it seems highly probable that the mole within the street team had a pivotal role in orchestrating the diabolical scheme that separated Biggie's car from Diddy's.
So only one that has an opportunity and only one that could have done that was somebody from the street team.
What's more, Gene Deal dropped a major revelation about Diddy that shook everyone. Despite the growing tension between the East and West Coast rap scenes, Diddy, who was in charge of managing Biggie's career, failed to provide adequate security. This oversight seemed unbelievable, given the circumstances and dangers at the time. Gene also pointed to someone else he believed was working with Puffy to carry out the attack. According to Gene, he personally warned a member of Biggie's crew to avoid Puffy's planned route. This crew member, D3ath, promised Gene he'd listen and stay away. However, things didn't go as planned, and D3ath led Biggie to the now infamous after-party at the Peterson Museum, despite his earlier assurances. This unexpected turn of events raised suspicions about whether D3ath was acting on his own or if someone else was pulling the strings behind the scenes. Gene didn't stop there. He brought up Kirk Burroughs' account, saying Biggie was originally set to fly to London with Kirk. But in an unexpected move, D3ath convinced Biggie to stay back and attend the Peterson Museum after-party instead. These claims have stirred a lot of controversy, but they haven't led to any legal actions. Gene also revealed a troubling detail. Biggie's security team, consisting of 7 or 8 members, was mostly unarmed. Considering the dangerous climate of the East and West Coast feud, this lack of armed protection raised eyebrows. Why didn't Biggie's team have weapons, especially given his health condition? He couldn't run or defend himself, making it even more essential that his security was top-notch. According to Gene, it was Diddy's orders that left the security team unarmed, adding to the suspicion of negligence. Gene made it clear that in his view, Diddy didn't genuinely care about Biggie. He believed Diddy was more interested in Biggie's talent and the success he could bring to his label. It's a chilling thought that someone responsible for Biggie's career might not have had his best interests at heart. There's another layer to this story that complicates things further. We all remember the feud between the Crips and Snoop Dogg. According to Gene, Biggie started that feud, but Diddy, not one for direct confrontation, took matters into his own hands to remove the problem. It's also worth noting that Biggie was considering leaving Bad Boy Records, which could have threatened Diddy's standing in the music industry. Some speculate that Diddy might have wanted to eliminate the competition to remain at the top. But DMX and Gene Deal weren't the only ones to speak out. Other sources have hinted at Diddy's predatory behavior behind closed doors. MC Ite, a respected voice in the hip-hop world, has questioned the widely accepted narrative that Biggie's unalivement was a direct result of Tupac Shakur's accusations. MC Ite believes Biggie's death was a premeditated setup rather than a consequence of Tupac's claims. At the heart of this discussion is Tupac's belief that Biggie knew about the 1994 Quad Studio shooting, but didn't warn him. While Tupac never outright accused Biggie of setting him up, he implied that Biggie had knowledge of the attack. According to MC Ite, this accusation set off a chain reaction that ultimately led to Biggie's unalivement.
Pac vocally was like, didn't it shot? You know, he set me up, or they set me up, or he knew about it. They knew about it and they didn't tell me.
But the question remains, did people really believe that Biggie had set Tupac up? MC Ite and many others find this theory hard to believe. It seems unlikely that Biggie would have stayed silent if he knew about such a serious plot. The rivalry between Death Row and Bad Boy Records, representing the West and East Coast, respectively, was already at its peak. This feud fueled the tension that surrounded both Tupac and Biggie. MC Ite raised an important point. Would Biggie still be alive if this conflict between the two labels hadn't existed? According to him, the rivalry played a significant role in Biggie's death, and the animosity between the two sides overshadowed any direct accusations involving Tupac. MC Ite argued that Biggie's unalivement wasn't a random act, but a calculated move. Biggie had traveled to Los Angeles to promote his music, and it was during this trip that he lost his life. MC Ite emphasized that Biggie's decision to visit LA at such a tense time was a major mistake. He questioned whether Biggie would still be alive if he hadn't made that trip.
Me being Biggie, would I have came to LA knowing Pac died and that animosity and the death row and beef was still going on? I would have never jumped on that motherfucking plane.
Another voice in the conversation is Spice One, who shared his thoughts in a recent interview. Spice One was in Los Angeles during the time of Biggie's visit, and he vividly recalls the tension that hung in the air. According to him, it was widely known that Biggie's life was in danger when he decided to visit LA. Spice One remembers preparing for a night out with a friend named Rat, who was connected to some prominent West Coast figures. However, before they could go out, warnings started circulating that Biggie shouldn't be in LA at that time. Spice One had already been feeling uneasy about Biggie's visit, as emotions were still high following Tupac's death. The city was on edge, and many people foresaw the danger that Biggie's presence might bring. Spice One explained that Biggie underestimated the loyalty and love that Tupac commanded in California. Even though Biggie had a major presence in the hip-hop world, Spice One felt that Biggie didn't fully grasp how deeply people in LA were affected by Tupac's death. According to Spice One, some West Coast residents may have even warned Biggie not to visit LA during this volatile time. Fans have also questioned Diddy's decision to send Biggie to Los Angeles so soon after Tupac's unalivement. With the city still mourning Tupac's death, it didn't seem like a wise move for Biggie to be there. This decision only adds to the list of concerns surrounding the events leading up to Biggie's death.
But everybody was saying, dude
that came out there. You know what I'm saying?
In any case, there have been so many other theories on Diddy's involvement in Biggie's unalivement. Some people actually believe that Diddy was the intended target and not Biggie. This speculation was sparked by Gene, who claimed that he has evidence that suggests Diddy was the real target on the night Biggie was unalived. According to Deal, Diddy had a hit on him, which was meant to take place after a party at the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, where Biggie was scheduled to perform. Deal alleges that Diddy's security team received a tip-off about the hit and moved Diddy to a hotel, leaving Biggie behind at the museum.
And I didn't tell him not to go nowhere that night. I said, Puff, I got some intel. The guys are coming to kill us tonight at the museum party.
The hitman allegedly mistook Biggie for Diddy and opened fire on his SUV as it left the museum. Deal's claims are not new. In fact, Jaguar Wright, a neo-soul singer and former member of The Roots, has also made claims about Diddy's involvement in the death of the rapper. In a recent interview with the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, Wright alleged that Diddy had a role in Biggie's unalivement and that she had heard about it from people who were close to the situation. Jaguar revealed that Diddy had a motive for wanting Biggie dead, as he saw the rapper as a threat to his own success in the music industry. Jaguar also talked about how Diddy benefited off Biggie's death.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died.
The Notorious Big was one of the most iconic figures in hip-hop history. His untimely death on March 9, 1997, sent shockwaves through the music industry and beyond, and remains one of the most controversial and mysterious cases in modern history. Some people have been asking, why didn't Biggie break free? Was it fear? Or had Diddy built such a powerful empire that even the King of New York couldn't escape it? As the years have passed, DMX's warnings about Diddy and Biggie have taken on a new weight. Was Biggie's tragic death part of a larger conspiracy orchestrated by one of the most powerful men in hip-hop? Or was it simply the result of a dangerous lifestyle? The truth may never fully come to light, but one thing is clear. DMX believed that his friend was betrayed, manipulated, and ultimately destroyed by the very man who claimed to have made him a star. Biggie's legacy lives on, but the unanswered questions about his relationship with Diddy remain. As more information comes to light, the story of betrayal, manipulation, and greed in the hip-hop world may finally be told. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.